Good morning, traders. I know. You guys are ready to get after it. If it was for you guys, we would be on live 24/7. And I don't mind that. But the truth is, Ryan and I also got a life here at Benzinga. We got to check on some things. But the number one thing on our mind is to get back into the green, baby. Let's get after it. Smash the like. You know where you're at. It's live trading with Benzinga. You guys ready? What's your top stock to trade today? Let us know in the chat. Let's get after it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Coffee machines, great, baby. Don't worry about that. Bustella on deck. We're ready to get after it. Let's bring on my man. You guys know him, Ryan Faloona.
Nespresso for me. So
I know pinky's on up when you say Nespresso.
Dude, if there's one thing that every adult should have, in my opinion, it's an espresso machine. I mean, you can have other coffee machines, but the Nespresso machine, just the ease of getting your coffee to the face.
Yeah, and what I like about it, I'm sure you like about it, is that you get like different coffees. You can get like the different types, and you can mix it up.
And it doesn't require like a syrup or some sugary flavor. Nope, just the beans.
No, it's pretty good. I got to say, my dad has an espresso. He's always believed in it. I guess I haven't bought the hype yet. I want to get like a real espresso machine, but those things are like $600, $700. And I don't know about you, Ryan. $700 on a coffee machine. That's going to have to come with a fantasy football trophy. But we'll talk a little bit about the NFL action coming up. I'm sure Ryan's itching to talk about some NFL action. Stick around here, team. We have some fun. We do some trading. And of course, we get into the stocks. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at what I have right now. I'm looking at TQQ coming down a little bit as we were just coming up right now. We'll talk a little bit about the SPY in just a few seconds here. Let me talk about what swing trades I have. Some things that are working well. Chevron, definitely working well. I can tell you guys right now, I have this from 161.11 just last week. And look where we're at. This was on Thursday that I bought this swing. We're almost up there to 166 already. So looking really good here on an oil trade. Going to continue grinding this oil trade up. Now let's talk about the Apple trade. The Apple trade did come down some. So glad I took some profits on Friday because trust me, today I'd be scratching my head like, Mitch, you didn't take profit in Apple? Probably not the best decision, but I did. And I took at least half of it off there. Now I have 185.98s, right? Still, I'm not going to let it come through my number. If it goes to 186, we're out of Apple. We'll look for the run closer to the iPhone lift. And we could still get that iPhone drive, but we always got to be paying attention to market rotation against us. I can see the market rotating a little bit against tech this morning. Let's see what happens in that. Keep an eye on Microsoft, NVIDIA, names like that. If they go lower today, be careful because that could drag down the tech sector. Of course, I also have Intel. This was doing really great on Friday. Let's see if it can stay hot. Definitely not going to let this come back on me through the entrance price of 35.13, but I'll hold there towards that 36, right? If it can hold 36 right now, I think this is still looking good. It's almost gotten to 37. On Friday, it did get to that 37. Let's see if we go back for that level. Now, the stocks that I am in the red for, I'm in the red for MGM and I'm in the red for Penn. These are my NFL trades here, Brian. So we'll definitely talk about the NFL as I'm taking NFL trades, as I expect to hear a lot of Lyft talk about betting this week. So on Thursday, we'll get the opener, right? I know Ryan has it on his calendar. And with that being said, you know what usually happens is they put out numbers a lot of the times after Sunday's games on Monday to release what? How much money was made throughout the weekend. And so I expect a good catalyst to come in on Monday, and I want to almost play these into that number versus playing it after that number. We'll see what happens with that outlook. Of course, that's MGM and Penn. And then I have, of course, one last stock there, AAL, American Airlines, down to 1450s. I'm going to look for a red to green action in AAL, looking to actually add to this position. I've had this now for 3 weeks. I'm at 1494, so definitely in the red on this position. Just want to give you guys that outlook. And I'm still liking the position overall on the daily and weekly. Just needs to kind of hold here, not get below 14 and start making its way back to 15. We'll see what happens. Now kicking into my man Ryan, we'll take a look at the outlook. We can take a look at his trade the pool eventually as we get into that. But of course, let's kick it off with Benzinga Pro. What are you seeing out there?
Okay.
Ryan.
Well, we're going to cover the SPY here first, but a lot of comments here in the chat. First of all, it's great to see everybody this morning. Happy football week. If you can tell, I didn't have any type of plastic surgery to add a smile or anything. It's just football week. So just generally, I'm in a great mood. And I got to say, that's going to be front and center all week. So if you guys don't like football, you will probably not like me this week. And I apologize for that. Really quick, Becca says, truth, Ryan, I believe this was about the Nespresso machine. Becca, you have an espresso machine, don't you? You know the glory days. My dad crazy after Nespresso. Crazy good, Geo. That's what I heard.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And I also, by the way, I'm happy with my Cost coffee. Yes, I buy coffee from Costco. I buy Nespresso and beans there. Okay. Anyway, let's get back down to brass tacks.
Get your beans, man. Get your bean game up.
Pete's is the beans that I get. Marshall's asking, Ryan, are you excited to see Bedard play for your Hawks this season? I have not been this excited for a Chicago Blackhawks season in a long time, Marshall. And I am literally stalking the NHL fan store to get the authentic Bedard jersey so that I can wear it all the time. You will see it on stream when I get it. I don't have it yet, but yes, very, very excited for that. Jay Rice asking Ryan, how far is Grand Haven from you? I assume you're asking about Grand Haven, Michigan, which I believe is due west from Grand Rapids. So that is about a 3.5 hour drive. Really good golf up there. Let me know what you're thinking.
Yeah, smash the like, guys. Let's get it started today. Of course, I want to get up to those like game. I'm going to also set the 200 like goal today, guys. Before 10:30, we need to hit that 200 to keep going all the way till 11. So you guys smash up that like and keep us going. Okay.
Let's get to the actual market here. It's great to see everybody this morning. I'm ready. Like I said at the outset of this, Thursday is the opening of the NFL season. Really, that's all I can think about right now. I'm like a little kid in the week leading up to Christmas where all they're doing is getting jacked up on candy and not doing anything productive. That's me right now, except no candy, and this is all about football. So I literally can't wait for Thursday night, and Sunday is going to be incredible. Now, what that means is that I have to try and use extra energy to get my head in the game so that I can focus on trading here. Last week, I had an issue with the size input on Trade the Pool, and that caused me to take a loss. Now I'm kind of behind the 8 ball, but that's okay because we're going to claw that back here today. We're going to start that process here today. Taking a look at the SPY, sure looks like the SPY is starting to roll over. This week, especially early, is going to confirm whether or not we actually trade back down here, or do we just go ahead and take that high out? I don't know what the answer is yet. Obviously, what I'd like to see is the SPY really kind of come back in. Purple shaded area still looking pretty juicy. We'll see if we can get back down there. Let's flip over to the movers real quick. And let's talk about some stocks that are going. First of all, first one here is going to be Airbnb. Airbnb is gapping up over 6.5%. We heard late Friday Airbnb will join the S&P 500. Catalyst here, shares of Airbnb are trading higher after it was announced the company will join the S&P 500. So Airbnb, that is why this is up here today. I'll say the last time I tried to trade Airbnb was to the short side. I got smacked. Haven't tried it since. We'll see if there's some trading action here today. Airbnb definitely in trade the pool. So if we get a good day trade set up there, we can definitely trade this one. Let's take a look at the Kaylee says, my bird's giving me a pep talk. My bird is actually staring at my cat. The two of them are having a stare down. Bird thinks he's winning, but the only reason he's winning is because I'm here stopping him from getting murked. That's another story. Let's talk about some of these smaller stocks here. First one's going to be ticker Verb. This is Verb Tech. I think that this is kind of a piece of junk. But we might have a trade set up here. Verb Technology shares are trading higher after the completed and launched a technology integration and strategic relationship with global media platform TikTok. So you're getting a TikTok PR here for Verb. We actually popped as high as 180. We've really kind of come down right beneath the VWAP. Honestly, if the volume stays really, really hot here and we get a nice little volume push through that VWAP, we could have a trade on our hands here. Absolutely. So I know that this is kind of junky, but still might be a trade there. Haven't checked if this is available in the trade the pool. We will check that here shortly. Next is going to be HSDT. This is Helios Medical Tech. We do have a catalyst here. Helios Medical Technology shares are trading higher after the company gained compliance with all applicable NASDAQ listing criteria. So did this one have a reverse split or something recently? It doesn't look like it. In any case, the stock closed around $7.50 last week. We did pop almost as high as 15. Now we were really leaking some of that back. One of the things I'd like to see today, one of the things that I need to see today, in order to trade this here is we need to see this firm up or get some type of strength. Remember, we popped in the after-hour session. We popped again in the pre-market session, but we've really done nothing but kind of leak in the pre-market session. So I want to see this firm up. Can we hold some of these pre-market lows? Do we end up reversing on volume? Do we move back through the VWAP? Number of different things that could happen here, but I want to see it first. I don't want to try to front run one of these moves. I don't want to try to get myself hurt early on. I'm already clawing back. I don't want to start myself with a Tuesday morning mistake here that I now have to claw back from. I just would rather avoid that. Next is going to be GDC. Looks like this is popping here. We took the first leg up, kind of came back in. Now it looks like the second leg up. We'll see if we take out 415. Was there news here? I didn't see anything this morning. Yes. Okay. So we got an 8 o'clock PR. That's at 8 Eastern. I should have seen this one earlier. Anyway, GD Culture Group expands into live streaming interactive games on TikTok. So another TikTok PR seems to be moving it. It's great to see TikTok in the news for someone other than ragging on somebody that didn't want to have kids and wanted to learn how to cook shashuka. So great to see something else happening here. GDC, this is actually a really interesting stock. We traded this a number of times last week. Gave us some pretty good moves last week. You can see here, this is basic. Let me see if I can fix that. So here's that initial pop. Now there were some little moves on the backside of this, but the real move was down. The question here is going to be, where do we go on this second move up? Is this it? Is this the high? Or do we end up pushing through there? Maybe we get to a 450 handle on GDC. We'll see. We know that this one has traded pretty well before. Looks like we got the makings of a double top. Let's see if we take that top off and move higher here. Next is going to be Alt. This is ticker AULT. Feel like we've traded this one before. Can't recall the performance of this. Anyway, they do have a catalyst. Alt Alliance shares are trading higher for the company's subsidiary. Alt Global Real Estate Equities announced its plan to sell its 4 newly renovated hotels for $100 million. Okay, getting out of the hotel business. Just real quick, I know we open up here in, a minute and a half. Let's go ahead and roll through the rest of this list. CLRB, I feel like we've traded this before. This was a pop and drop. Kraken, I'm going to avoid this. Every time I try to release the Kraken, I end up getting slapped. I don't want to do that today. Not on football week. LGHL, this popping, but the pop is kind of unimpressive and really already kind of coming back in. And Fubo, I expect this to get some headlines with sports and football and all that, but probably just pass on this. We'll go ahead and see what the relative volume scanner brings. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat here. Folds of Honor, college tourney going on in Grand Haven. Great cause. Nicholas is there. Probably too far for you. So I actually have that. Folds of Honor is a great charity. The last time I went, I think in Myrtle Beach, Folds of Honor on one of the par threes had the thing where you donate and then they give you a sleeve of Folds of Honor balls. And if you get a hole in one, you win a car or some crazy thing like that. I missed the green completely. I still donated. Folds of Honor is a really great cause. Yes, I probably will not be going there to watch. I'd go there to play, but probably not go there to watch. Okay. Cleo is making picks with the Crow, Becca, and Smoked Tuna. Okay, if any of you folks figure out what Cleo is picking, let me know because I could use that. You guys are having a side conversation. Yeah, oil's ripping. What happened there, Jay? We got some news here for oil. All right, market's open here. Let's see where we go. Alt the CEO is garbage. Yeah, probably not going to trade this morning, Rich. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Verb first move here is down. We'll see if that solidifies. HSDT, the first move here was down. Tesla, first move here is up. Boy, do we get on that train early here? Do we start buying 10 shares of Tesla at a time in the prop account? Mitch is back at the right time, Mitch.
I don't know what website I left open, but it's giving me music in the background.
I don't hear it on stream.
I know. That's the good part. That's the good part, right? I'm over here like, yo, what is open in the background? Let me find it.
Tesla ripping higher now.
My computer's going crazy.
Your computer's going. I mean, I hope everything's okay.
No, it's all good. It's just more. Oh, I know what it is. It's the it was the Taiwan Semiconductor earnings call. Oh man, that was interesting. Let's just say that. All right, let's get to the action. The first things first is address red.
TSM is down here, by the way.
Out of MGM. I will tell you guys that. I had a trigger stop there, so it already got hit there. So I'm just looking to see if Penn can hold on here.
CLRB went through the VWAP there. Again, wasn't really ready for that one. We'll see if this sets up for us. Airbnb looks like it's coming back into its VWAP. Interestingly.
Chevron, nice little push here, up out the gates here to 166. I'm going to take half off here. I want to go ahead and pay myself because it's just been a really nice position here. So there you go. I just paid myself a little bit there on that pop. Not a bad one there. Nice little, what did I get there? 166. Yeah, 166.01. Nice little pop now to 166.20s, and Chevron continuing to move here. Doesn't look too bad. I'll put it up on the screen here. You can see Chevron making that nice little lift here as I keep trying to take some profits in some oil name, and also keep a watch to see what happens here in the SPY and the Qs. We are getting a little bit of some uplift. Look how the Qs went up and then rejected here. So let's see if tech starts to come down here. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it.
Verb,
I definitely don't want to jump too early. Verb,
first of all, Verb is in the trade the pool, and this is going to halt here at 132. I'm not in this. No position here. Not going to buy this halt, but Verb halted here 132. Wow.
Take down my screen and we can put up yours. Verb is what you watching.
Yeah, CLRB is also in trade the pool. Wow, trade the pool really getting it done here today.
Yeah, GDC also on that one. So GDC is a $3 stock going up to $4 today. Just pulled back from that. There's a lot of these here trading really small. This RVLP, this had 14-cent stock there. Looking around, see what's kind of getting the lift here.
CLRB coming back into the VWAP here. And breaking beneath.
Getting a little lift here. Now NVIDIA trying to push there towards 43.50s. I'm keeping an eye on the sectors out there to try to find what's going on here. It's interesting at least. And Chevron with a nice little move there. Now 166.80s. Going to continue to let that climb, but pretty good move there in energy. And of course, what's leading? Energy, financial services, just slightly green. Everything else in the red from the open. That's where I got to be careful. We'll see if it goes back to the green, if tech can come back to the green. NVIDIA is trying to climb there. That's one thing I'm definitely keeping an eye out for. Microsoft trying to climb. We'll see if they'll stay green. KRE looks interesting for me. Looking to see if it's going to break 45 today. Like this off of a VWAP fade here. If it can reject going to 45.50s here. I'm going to let it get a chance here to go to 45.50s, but could reject that and come right back down. Tech names starting to pull back there. NVIDIA pulling back to 41. I'm liking the KRE short. That's what I'm looking at right now. All right, guys, just got short there at 45.44. Going to hold off to 45.54, about 10-cent risk here. And on the trade to pull here, short on the KRE. 200 shares.
CLRB looks like it's trying to take the VWAP out here.
Nice little move down to 45.30s here. Let's see if this can go into the red now below the VWAP, which is 35s. Take out 45.25s. I'll take some profits, and then look for this to continue going.
I'm going to try some CLRB here in the.
All right, I'll put you up there. We'll move back and forth.
Taking 300 shares here to start. We'll see if we can move through the VWAP.
Okay. Let me know how that one keeps going. KRE's going in the green there for me.
If this breaks down, I'm just going to get out, though. So I'll let you know.
Trying to take some profits here at 45.28s here. There you go. I'm on the bid. There we go. Just got hit there. You guys see it. In, out, at least the first half. Now can leave the rest break even and look for a nice big win here on the short of KRE. There's KRE trying to get lower there. Financials going into the red. So I talked about this at the pre-market. And one thing that I'm trying to do more of is what I talk about at the pre-market. Try to execute on that, Mitch, because if it works to your favor, you already had the mentality. Nail it. Execute on it. We'll see what happens here. Now going to go ahead and set the stop loss. I'll set the stop loss right at the kind of like 1 cent above break even. And now it can just let this trade continue to work.
CLRB breaking down here. Needs a bouncer. I'm going to cut this.
Want to see JPM go to the red. That's going to help me there. And then this could continue going lower. We're getting a nice little move here on the KRE to 45s almost already. Can we get this down move in GS? Also, Goldman Sachs looking for banks like that, bigger banks to get red. The global ones were strong earlier, so I'm looking to see how these regional banks are doing. But I do see regional banks a lot in the red today. Looking to see what's in the red the most here. Seeing BAN F, QB. So I'm looking through some of these to see what banks are weak. Seeing a lot of weak banks there. That's helping me. FHN, First Horizon getting weak now. Look at that move in the KRE, baby. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, going to go ahead and try to pay myself a little bit here. I'm going to take 50 off here just to try to pay myself towards 45, underneath 45.10s. So 45.08 here. I'm going to put out the limit, try to get some filled. That's at the low of the day right now. We're at 45.08 right now. I'm going to move it up just to get filled. Boom. Just got hit there. 50 off there. Let's go, team. Let's go. Going to put you up, my friend.
I'm still watching CLRB. I'm down on this. I'm hoping it bounces right here. Otherwise, we're cutting it.
All right. I got KRE. I'm going to continue going with the KRE. This is looking good for the 45 breakdown. Now, definitely won't let it come back, and I won't even let it come back towards my entry now. 45.30s would be the out now on the stop loss. So no matter what, $7 green on the rest of that. Just going to look for this to continue expanding lower because it could go lower all day long. And so with that being mentioned, I'm just going to look for the nice flush down, continue trying to push on the day. Intel giving me a little bit of an alert. Look at that move in Intel today, guys. That's looking pretty decent there. Intel moving higher. I've talked about how this one looks good. Now it's holding 37. I wanted to hold 36 on any pullback today. It actually held the 36.50 pullback. Now up there to 37. This actually looks pretty decent. Apple's coming back. Now back into the green. Don't want to see it break that 187.20 today. Could keep coming up.
Looks like
KRE.
a number of people took some verb. Smoke Tuna and Whisk took some verb after that halt. Halted another upside halt here, 164 on verb. CLRB looking like this is just going to die. Man.
All right, guys, if I get a hit through 44.90s here, I'm just going to take it off on the KRE. It's looking really good here just to celebrate the win and just take it and then look for pullbacks to get back into the name. Here's 44.90s. I'm going to take that and celebrate a nice little win here. Not a bad trade at all, guys. Look at that out the gates today. Really nice trade here on the KRE. And it could go lower, but the truth is, it's not a bad little cushion to start the day. $56 to start on that trade. 200 shares. Nice little gain here on the KRE. I liked how it rejected the 45.50s, came right back down, short on those, and then now just taking the green here.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I took one of these smaller stocks out of the gate, did nothing but sell off, no bounce at all here. If it can't bounce off this level, I'm just going to cut it and take the L and move on. We'll see.
All right, not a bad trade there on the KRE. Going to keep going, team. What are you guys looking at on the chat? Catching up with the chat now, guys.
They took verb, which is, yeah, unhalted, went higher, and now into a second upside halt on verb.
Verb's the word?
So far it is.
All right, let's keep looking. We'll see what else is going on in the chat. I'm trying to catch what you guys are looking at. Some people talking about Tesla. Some people talking about NVOS. So looking around, guys. NVAX mentioned in the chat. Okay. KRE into the 80s we go here. So not a bad trade there. Really nice trade. I'm looking now to see JPM go into the red here. JPM now down to 146.77. Was that just a bull trapped out the gates there for JPM? That is going lower. XLF now down to 34.50s. So not a bad outlook there. I am still seeing tech strong. That's interesting. But financials are really starting to get hit now. You can see that really hard hit there. We'll see what happens on verb when it opens up, but it's halted there at the 165. Next stop for me, 181s, and then maybe 2. Let's see on the daily, where do we see resistance coming in on this one? Of course, this is a pop and drop type of stock, so I will be mentioning that. The stock doesn't have a tendency of holding the pops. Was this on a reverse split where it went to 340s?
Yeah. Looks like it. Reverse
Looks
split.
like it, right?
Reverse split was on 420. Hold on, my cat's hacking up a hairball.
You're good, my friend. I know the life. Hendrix is right here. He'd do it with you. He'd do it with Buddy if he could. Actually, I got a story about that one a little later. You'll find it interesting. All right, let's keep going, guys. JPM now into the red. Energy pulling back here. Going to look for some pullbacks on energy. Technology rejecting the VWAP there. Could go lower now, so just be careful. I'm not trying to trade tech into the green right now because I'm seeing a lot of mixed signals in the bigger names. Tesla coming back to the green today, but there's some names that are just not green, and that's where I get a little bit careful. Tesla is pretty decent here out the gates. Pretty strong move on Tesla. So we'll see if that can hold. But Amazon in the red today. Let's see if it goes red to green. Microsoft, one to keep an eye out. That's actually doing really well right now. And NVIDIA is trying to push here. So those are the names that I think could lift the tech names. If Microsoft, NVIDIA, and like maybe Google can stay strong, maybe those can lift the tech names right now. I am seeing Tesla pretty strong. All right, guys, What are you guys looking at?
I have to do this, right? Yep, there we go.
That's it, man.
I was watching Tesla out of the gate. It popped literally right out of the open, and I was like, nah, I don't want to chase this. So I played some junky stock that immediately sold off. Now it is bouncing here. CLRB is bouncing here. We did add a little bit, so if I can get this back green, I'll just book the gains and move on to something a little bit better. But managing a negative trade early on here. Let's take a look around and see what else. Verb still halted. A couple of people mentioning Rigetti again. Rigetti did pop here. Been a really good trading stock, Rigetti.
All right, guys, if you guys think that XPEV move is a nice one and you think it can keep going, I think it could lift NIO here off the 11 pullback. And so it's pulling back here towards 11. That's just one to keep an eye out for some China tech trade if you're looking for it. I have the VWAP closer towards 1096. So maybe we get that 1096 approach and then right back up towards 1116. This is just one stock I'm keeping on my radar. All right, let's keep looking around. Let's see what else is trading on the day and doing
Verb opened up, Mitch. Verb opened up. Looks like this after this halt, it came back in a couple of cents. This actually is going to get halted to the downside at 154 if this holds here on Verb.
Ooh, you see that?
See, I'm glad I'm not trading this. By the way, CLRB, my trade that was immediately against me is red green right now.
Yeah, one thing on Verb that I would say is that stocks like this that can halt in about what? It was about what, 16 cents, 20 cents? That's too much risk for me. I don't want to be in stocks that can halt in 20 cents.
Yeah.
That's just not for me, guys. Is this for you? Hey, to each his own.
CLRB, let's see if it can break VWAP here on CLRB.
Buy coming off the bottom, we could get 945 reversals back up here and then start seeing a push in technology names. So that's what I'm keeping an eye out for. You guys can also keep an eye out for that in StockSell. You're still seeing some tech names hold here. Like Microsoft is one that I'm looking to see if it rips right now to the upside. I still like this off of the daily. It doesn't look too bad. I've been talking about how this is the stock that I need to see come back if we're really going to get a tech run. Look how this has kind of like a V bottom shape right now. V bottom shape right now on this Microsoft daily. Let's see if we can start to push above here and really make a push. And I've been talking about how I've been seeing more V bottoms in this market. Let's see if we come back to these levels and start to push towards 132.50 on the day. That's kind of the next stop that I see right here, right? And you guys can see to the left, this seems to make sense here towards this resistance. So let's see if we can make that move today. I actually see this as an upside outlook on the daily. You guys can see how it's just propping here. Just came back to VWAP for the third time, which was 329.30s. Now trying to take off through 331. Amazon's another one to keep watch, but for red to green action, it was strong, and it could come back here. So that's one that I'll keep watch. If Microsoft takes off, I'm willing to get Amazon on the pullback. Be
Still
careful,
watching though. CLRB here. It looks like it's trying to take its VWAP out. Let me see. My bird is not going to get killed. Let me see if I can make this, figure out how to do this.
Well, let's see if KRE comes back to 45.25s. No orders out, right? Just trying to balance in and just be smart. Take it easy. Got myself a nice cushion on the morning. Don't need to be jumping into stocks really quickly, as I do have a nice little cushion here. Rigetti trying to break 2. Something to keep an eye out for. Doesn't look too bad for that 2 break. Could it go to like $2.80s, $3 today? I don't think that's going to happen, but it does have $2 in reach. We'll see if it gets up there.
Here, how do I do this? Yeah, there we go. So here's my trade the pool. So you can see I got into a little bit of a mess with CLRB, added pretty much near the bottom. Here we go, and it's rocketing through the VWAP. So now we've got some green on this. Let's see where this can go to. We're just going to make sure that this doesn't come back in on us. There goes CLRB. Come on, go higher. Go higher. Help bail me out of this. Looks like it's coming back into VWAP here.
NVIDIA with a big break to the upside. That is something to keep an eye out for tech names. So just want to point that out. I'm looking at maybe potentially getting Amazon on the pullback, but nice little lift there for NVIDIA. I'm going to look to see if that can hold Microsoft move and get it back up there. But that's interesting move. Apple's above VWAP now. Tesla's been strong too. That's on the pullback now. We'll look to see if we get the next lift.
Here we go on CLRB. Here we go.
All right, looking at this GDC also, I feel like it's setting up here off the 350, 360 for a move back towards 4. I'm looking to see if the market can rip up there. GDC is on my radar. Is that anything you guys are looking at there? My smaller penny stock watchers.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Just let me get out of this real quick, and
You're good. You're good, my friend.
I'll look at this.
You do you.
We were able to get some of this back. I just want to make sure if this is going to go higher. I want to be. Oh no, it's coming back to the VWAP. All right, I'm just going to take this off before it comes back in. I feel like I already got bailed out with that, so able to work back some of the that I was down. Looks like, what did I net there? It's like I net a total of $48 on the prop account. Okay, nice little clawback. At least I got some green on the screen. So now let's look for something a little bit better, huh? How about that? Does Trade the Pool have a phone? Yes, it must. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, Wally. I'm sure you can look that up online. Becca talking about SSU. I don't even think I know what that is. SSU. Is that in here? Cigna Sports United. Mitch, do you have any idea what this is? Looks like a really rough daily chart, but popping here today.
What was the ticker again?
SSU. Sigma Unity.
All I can say is that this looks like it came from a SPAC, and it's just been in the red. I'm going to look it up, but that's what I see at least.
Verb is open and trying to go higher here. Is it going to get halted at one? I'll be honest. This stock is halting like at what feels like every 10 or 15 cents. There's just no way I'm going to trade this today.
Yeah, that's too much risk for me.
It's just, Mitch, like the stock, you can't do anything with it. Well, it's just, I don't know. To me, this is not good.
GDC just broke that 350. Now it needs to recover 350, I think, on the 5-minute candle. So that's one thing that I can see there. So you see this break of 350. It seems to make sense on like longer time frame for it to hold at that level. So I'm looking for it to come back to 350 on the 5-minute and just make this a wick. So it stops out everybody and then comes back up through 4 strong. If I do take this, I need to keep it to like a 10-cent risk. Looking for what? Looking for 50 to 60 cents on the upside. That's a 5-to-1 or 6-to-1 outlook. If I can have that outlook, I'll take the trade. Doesn't look too bad. I can tell you in video, look at this move here. This is actually important to know. Really strong move out of NVIDIA. And I think that this is trying to get there back towards the 500 outlook or the 495 outlook. So we are starting to push back right now. The only question is, can it hold? KRE coming back here. I was looking for an outlook here coming back towards 45.25s, but it's going lower right now. So maybe I could have held on a little bit, but not mad at the profit takes that I did because I pretty much got the bottom action today. Let's look at JPM goes into the red. That's going to be one thing that I think could drag all financials red. And look how JPM did this kind of like little bull trap out the open, and now it's coming back down. TLT under 94. That's another good outlook that could drag the market in the long run, right? Bonds still getting hit. All right, overall sectors from the open, and I'm paying attention to that. Energy is just slightly up, but has pulled back significantly here. So if there's any time to maybe take the gush trade, it'd be now if you're thinking that oil is going to go higher. So I'm going to take a peek here. I'm seeing oil at 87 today. So that's why it ripped up out the gates. Now the only question is, can we catch the bounce here on gush? Doesn't look too bad off the VWAP.
CLRB came back to that VWAP, so I'm really glad I closed that trade for green just to kind of get green on the screen and also chip away at the mistake that I made on Friday. So already here, been a good start to the day. Hi, buddy. Do you want to say hi to the stream? Look at the cat. Already a decent start here, getting some green on the screen, clawing back, and turned one poor entry into a profitable trade. The more I can do that, the better off I'm going to be. What are you doing? No.
Trying to get some gush on the pullback towards 4150s and 4160s. So let's see what happens there. I'm putting orders out there.
You're okay. You know what else? We might be able to trade SCO. Let's check that out here. Oh,
So you guys see me putting out some orders for Gush. I don't mind this pullback for oil to see if it goes higher here, but I definitely need it on the pullback.
so trade the pool doesn't. Okay. So SCO is the non-levered one, right? And Gush is the levered one. That's the direction 2x levered. And I think the SCO, let me pull it up in my broker here. SCO is the short Bloomberg non-levered one. Okay.
Yeah,
So you can
I
trade the
usually
leverage
go
vehicles.
for
I get it.
I usually go for drip and Gush if I'm looking for leverage on oil. The drip and the gusher.
Okay.
All right, I'll look for a little bit more pullback towards 4160 on Gush. Don't want to jump in too early here. Seeing XOM strong and just bounce off of UAP. Could go after it for the 42 kind of pullback, but I need a little bit more on Gush. I have a tendency of seeing Gush pull back significantly and then getting the lift. Getting stopped out on Penn, man, that one's a tough one to get through today. Stopped out on both my Penn and MGM trade, so looks like the NFL trade is not going to work for me this week.
What were you in? Were you in those coming into this week, hoping for a move to the upside? Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten it for 2 years in a row. Was looking for it this
gotcha.
year. Not
Okay.
going to be it.
So playing the seasonality, I like that.
Yeah, it's worked for. If you look on the, if you look at the history, right, price action history, it's worked 3 out of the 4 years. 75% of the time it's happened. I tried to take the shot. Didn't happen this time. Maybe I got in a little bit late this year with DKNG being the one that had the nice pullback and opportunity. But look where DKNG is today. It's also pulling back. So who knows? Maybe this gives us an opportunity later. But I am seeing the tech names pull back a little bit now as NVIDIA's pulled back a little bit. Microsoft hasn't really taken off. And I've talked about how the TLT is pretty weak. Well, we see just tech names go weak now. They are pulling back. The Qs didn't go anywhere near that 377 and close up there. That's one thing that I'll definitely be watching for today. Can the Qs take 377? If not, it could take 376, and we could see downside come leaking in. That's why I'm looking for shorts right now. KRE coming back to me, and I'm looking for just to get right back into KRE. There's nothing wrong with me shorting this again. I needed to get through 45.25s, and then I can risk right back off of the 45.50s. Just need a little bit of a pop here to the 20s, and I could get reshort KRE, or I could take a look at different bank names to see those go lower. All right. Looking around, seeing some banks struggle. I want them to get a bounce here, and then I'm going to look for the short.
Yeah, Verb a 190 here looks like Verb's going to get halted again. This thing is just nothing but a halt fest. Look at CLRB. Where did that go to now? Went higher. So came back into the VWAP and went higher. So rough entry on that, but did end up finding one that is working here. So CLRB moving higher still here on big volume, biggest volume stick of the day, by the way, on CLRB. So here we go. Mitch, how do you add here? You can help me, Mitch, with these charts. How do I add the ticker? Because I can see like on my chart, I've got the watermark for the company name, but it's covered a lot of the time. How do I add the ticker so that it's a little bit easier to see?
Okay, so what you want to be doing here is on, so it's probably going to be in your settings right here. So you can go to your settings. I'm pretty sure it's one of these that I've already set there. That's my thing. I already
trading chat order, full screen mode.
Watermark. Here it is. View.
So where's
you go
the
right click on the screen.
Settings.
Watermark.
View. Water.
Symbol.
Got you.
Boom.
Got you. Thank you.
Got you, my
Thank
friend.
you.
That's what it's about.
That was easy. All right.
Ooh, big move there in NVIDIA to the downside.
Big move in CLRB and CGC right there.
Putting out some order for KRE at 45.25s. I want to see it start getting into the 45.20s, and then I can get short on these names. It needs to get into the 20s, so that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to layer here, trying to layer up here on KRE.
Here, let me get your trade the pool back in there.
So you see these 3 limits right here, right?
Yeah.
So the layers are out there. So trying to get filled on pops and then for it to come right back down. Look at this NVIDIA move too. This is another thing that I could look at is maybe SOX S. So if NVIDIA goes into the red, I can look at SOX S as being a trade that seems to make sense here. So you see how this reversed off the bottom? Now this has a pattern. And you know that the algos are probably trading this pattern right here. So that's that 932 pullback here. It should hold 930s and go towards the 950s. We'll see what happens on that. Qs could go lower too. I could short the Qs off of 377 if I wanted to just do that, or the SQQQ here on that outlook for to push above 18s. So I'm just calling out different trades there, guys. Just got my first hit there on KRE. That looks good there. Got the 45.25 spot. It popped right into my entry there. That's kind of what I want to see. A pop fill, and it comes down on that fill, not past my limit. But where are my other limits? They're actually past this 45.25. So it will improve my average if I get any more pop action. And then I'll look for the quick down action to come with it. How do I add previous close price? Francis, are you talking about like this yellow thing here? This is my closing price and it's moving with it. The last closing price of the name, but I'm not sure exactly what the question referred to there. Verb halted again. Oh, good Lord. I can't handle that name. No fill yet, guys. It keeps rejecting to get back into the 30s, so it could just reject off of this. I'm looking at the VWAP there, and I'm focusing on that.
So okay. So I'm going to explain some thought process that I have here real quick. Verb, you know what? We'll do it after Verb. Verb reopened, went as high as 219. It's all over the place now. I don't have Verb up. I have a lesson coming on Tesla here, but let's see if we can get. Let's do this, and let's go to Verb because we can watch the Verb action here. This actually going to be a downside halt 189 on Verb. Ooh, yikes. And by the way, one of the things that I've been trying to keep myself a little bit safer with some of these smaller, junkier plays, if you will, is by adding Bollinger Bands. You can see Verb has pretty much just run along the top of the Bollinger Band here, really setting it up for a pullback, not something that I'm interested in. Real quick, Mitch, let's go back to how do I got to remove this, right? Boom. I got it, Mitch. You're going to turn me into a producer yet. Okay. We've done a couple of things here real quick. So first of all, I was watching Tesla because I do want to kind of learn how to trade the different patterns that are in Tesla here. And I'm now conditioning myself to constantly look at the order entry tools so I don't buy too much like I did before. One of the things you'll notice here, Tesla definitely bouncing off the VWAP on the 1 minute chart. This is what I had hoped to scale in. We actually never quite reached there. I was being a little conservative, so I didn't buy any. But here's the other thing that I did. So I want to buy in lots of 20, right? Especially if I'm going to add 10 or 20 shares at a time. And I'm going to build up to a position. But I want to very quickly be able to sell in case the stock spikes or pushes back up. So Mitch suggested this last week, and I never did it, but I added the close button here, which will allow me to close all of my positions in an instant.
That's
it doesn't matter about my share size anymore, Mitch. If I need to panic button, an oh shit panic button to close, now I've got that added here. So constantly going to be trying to improve. This was something that you suggested last week. I completely concur. I think I needed this on here for the type of trading that I'm doing. So
that's important. I think that always one thing that we always have to learn from our losses is a lesson. And what is that lesson? Is it process or execution? Here you guys are seeing what? You guys are seeing that execution was off and Brian figured out a way to resolve that. If anything happens on my execution where I'm off, I can always get out of trades. What I cannot do is just get wrecked, right? Now, the one thing here is to always understand as a day trader, you got to make quick decisions. Quick decisions. Always, first things first, at least what I always think about, and Ryan says it always with me, is capital preservation. And so that's what this button's also about, is always understanding that we can get into another trade. What we can't do is overextend our risk very quickly. And that's how you get wrecked in a lot of small accounts. All right, here's NVIDIA going lower. I'm seeing if the Qs are going to break through the 376 right now. I'm looking pretty good on this KRE short. I can even add right here, but what I did was I put my limit above my entry still, as I'm looking for this to kind of reject VWAP and really go lower. I need the Qs to go lower. I need the SPY to go lower here. It looks weak, but let's see if we get the move. The SPY to 449 will bring us down. That's where I'm a little bit careful on Tesla. I know the Tesla's going against the market right now. It's the only one in the green here from the bigger boys. And that's where I'd be a little bit careful, because Apple's below VWAP, Google's below VWAP, Microsoft is below VWAP now, Amazon is below VWAP. Tesla is the big boy that's in the green here. Let's see if it holds the 250 and keeps going. That's how it is sometimes, guys, and we'll see what happens here. Looking at it, see if JPM is going to bounce here. And so I'm looking to see if the XLF wants to reject the VWAP also. So I'm trading the KRE, but you can also be looking at the KLF. You see at the KLF, this is the VWAP is right here, and it's looking like it wants to reject it right back down. So let's see what happens on the KLF here. And JPM, do those go lower? The banks go lower? Let's find out.
A real quick, Lynn, hello. Here with you guys, staying quiet on Tesla because we were late to the open. Nice discipline. Watching to see if it can come back down to that 243, 244 level. Just actually broke out of the sideways level that it was in. Looks to be going higher. Hang in there, Ryan. Not liking the general market SQQQ climb. I'm hanging in there. It is football week. I'm going to be just fine this week, but appreciate it. Glad to hear you folks out there. Drive safe if you are on the road. Tesla, real quick here. Let me go ahead and take this off. As you can see, this sideways motion or this sideways area here didn't get it at VWAP, was too conservative. Trading in the sideways motion, was thinking, maybe this breaks out here. We did get the breakout, but we'll still be a little bit more patient on this one. I don't need to make things worse here today. Let me get Mitch's KRE back up here.
Yeah, I might get short some more banks.
CLRB trying to bounce again. DWAC. Oh man, Mitch, the DWACers are out in force today.
DWAC.
Look at it. You're gonna laugh when you look at the chart.
Good Lord. When will this stock disappear, man? We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know.
It is popping though. It is popping. I think it's tradable. Yeah, it is tradable, man. I just can't trade that. And the spread is 26 cents. So I'm staying away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trading it. I'm not trading it.
Yeah, that just seems dangerous to me. But yeah, is it moving? Hell yeah.
I'll tell you what, all these cannabis names real strong again here. Shame on me for not being a part of this swing. CGC, Tilray, probably all of them.
Pfizer strong there on the day, just to state something that's a little bit different. How'd that gush do? It went to 4170, not 4160s though.
CLRB, another just yank, just nasty. I'm glad I got out of that one early. I know it went higher, but I'm glad I was able to get out of that without taking a loss on it. Really helpful.
SPY holding 449.50s. That's going to be an important level to watch, see if it recovers 450s. Q's coming back a little bit faster, and I think that's important to watch. It held the 376 breakdown, now back towards 376.67. Will it get to 377? That's your outlook for Tesla going higher also. So we'll see if Q's can take 377 here and go higher.
Oh, good call here, Rigetti. That is going. SS trades popped out of that formation through to as high as 206 here. Alexa, good morning. Alexa saying, "Hey Ryan, what do you think about Zscaler on the 1 minute?" Let's take a look at that. Alexa, did you play any golf this weekend? Sun really got me this weekend. ZS here. This all over the place, right? This thing, $2 moves left and right here. We've had multiple already here today. Where did we close? This closed at about 158. We're about $2 higher here. We were as low as really 158, really kind of holding that 158 level. For what I see here on the 1 minute, it's as far as day trading goes, anytime that this thing really gets extended from the VWAP, maybe do a regression to the mean. Like right here, to me, this looks like a decent short if Zscaler can come back down to the mean. Obviously, if you break this high, what do we have this at 160.74? This is your stop. It goes higher than this, you got to stop out on the short side. But otherwise, for me personally, I'd wait and see if this can come back into VWAP here. It's really kind of just choppy, just kind of all over the place. If we look at the daily chart here, we're near the top end of the range. So I almost feel like this is probably no man's land.
All
yeah,
right,
I got to say, this is almost no man's land. The short almost looks more appealing here. Sorry, Mitch.
No, you're good, my friend. I'm looking at to see if TFC makes one more attempted push towards the upside. Of course, this is the leading by cap on regional banks. And so I'm looking to see if this regional bank is going to go through 31s. If it goes through 31s and holds, then you could get the KRE to reverse on me. But if it rejects 31 here, it could go right back down to the 3070s. And then I can go short on TFC here. We'll see what happens. Looking to watch the Qs also. The Qs up there to 376.74. So keep your eyes on the Qs to see if they can go higher through 377. That's like the positive outlook. Back down to 376. Yeah, I think this can come right back down. So I'm keeping an eye on also like NVIDIA that's making a big pullback. Of course, that one loves to go down to the bottom of the range, come right back up, go bottom, down. How's Tesla doing? There's a push towards the resistance there. So you got your move on Tesla. And so at this point, are we going to get the breakout? That's one thing that I'd be looking for. But you did get your bounce there off the 250. That's
you sure did. And remember, Lynn and Randy's theme here on Tesla, $2 moves all over the place in both directions. Part of me wonder if this stops here and maybe comes back in towards the VWAP. I'm not going to take a short trade. That's not my game. But we'll see if this actually reverses. If it does, be interested at this closer to the VWAP here. Alexa saying it was too hot for golf. Did you play? Yeah, it was super hot. It was like 92, 94, 95 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here. I went out at like 9 o'clock in the morning and played 9 because that's about all I could handle. But yes, I did get some. I got some sun. Actually, I had a really good ball striking this weekend. So really excited about that. By the way, as I'm babbling about golf, Tesla breaking through that high here now. Tesla real strong here. This play off the VWAP would have been money. And you were watching the Qs. Okay, here, let me get your screen back up here because you have TFC on.
That's what happened there. I got you. I can switch back and forth. So you see this 376 level. It went where? 376.97. I think somebody's watching that 377 level. I think I'm not the only one, right? So let's see what happens here. Did the algos take it above on a 5-minute close above 377 is important. If we reject that, we can go right back to the bottom of the range. So that's where I think you just got to be careful playing these moves, right? What's another name that's hot in these tech names is Netflix today. So look at Netflix up a significant amount and didn't pull much. So these are the two strongest ones in tech right now. Tesla and Netflix, I would say, are the two strongest ones. The weaker ones coming back are like Microsoft and kind of you see how Microsoft is coming back here through the 329s. And then you also got Google coming back. You also got Amazon going to come back here now. And we'll see if Apple can really kind of take off here. Intel is another one right in the green that I have. That's on my swing trade. That one looks to be holding also. Going back to the KRE.
Tesla kind of stopped. I know it broke out of that level, but it kind of stopped there. I wonder if this is going to come back in.
Yeah, I kind of like this outlook to short the banks now. I'm going to take a shot in just a second here, but I'm just waiting to see the Qs reject or the SPY reject here. I want to see the SPY get weak
CLRB.
here.
That is hacking another. I brushed them all weekend. Anyway,
all right, guys, I'm taking my shot here on TFC.
Okay, sorry, Mitch.
No, you're good. I'm just going short more banks. Short regional banks is what I'm doing. Now I got KRE. I'm going short on TFC. So if you want to kick it, Ryan, no worries. But I'm calling what I'm going after, guys.
Sorry, just listen and make sure it's a normal hairball sound. So CLRB here real quick. This is just nasty, right? This is nasty pullback, maybe to view up. I mean, maybe you can trade this. I'll be honest with you. After watching this and after having a poor entry on the first trade, I'm glad I'm not in this anymore. I don't want to. I want to try to trade something a little bit better here.
There's a SPY coming down. I kind of was looking for this. Now the Qs make a big move here. I want the SPYs to break the lows. That's what I'm looking to see if it could drag the financial sector deep into the red. We'll see what happens on that. Basic materials, red. Still, from the open, only thing that's green is energy. I want to state that because tech, I feel like, is doing a little bit of a bull trap move here because it's still red overall and could reject. There's a couple names green there, but not much. Now I'm seeing the KREs coming back down to 45.11s. I want this to break 45 and go lower. TFC's looking already decent, coming to 390, 3090s. So I'm looking for that to go back down through the 3070s. Not back above 31s on that one. All right, let's set our stop loss just to make sure we understand where our risk is. I'm going to set it at 31.05 for right now, which is just about 10 cents higher. Where are we looking for target profit? We're going to look down there below the 70s. So it can at least be a 2-to-1 outlook, but I'm looking for a breakdown through the 3070s going into the 3060s here. For right now, I'll set it down below here towards the 72s. You guys see how I'm using it on the chart here. I think that's important to learn from Trade the Pool. Like always, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. You guys see us using it and working at it very hard today. If you guys want to check this out, like always, go ahead and check out Trade the Pool. You guys can get funded today, right? We had a great discount last week, but you guys can keep pushing in towards the next level of your trading. If you guys want to check out Trade the Pool, I'm throwing up the link right now. And you guys can always see, of course, the QR code in the top right corner. Finally, a stock trading prop firm, of course. Trade more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs. Check it out, team. I'm going to throw up the link here in the chat.
The amount of stocks that are available is probably the most impressive part so far.
Yeah,
software, customer service, both good, but the size of the pool is so gigantic. I never have trouble finding something to trade. Never.
All right, I think this is going to be very important. I'm just watching NVIDIA for Qs and reads off of the tech. Are we going to crush down here or just rip back up? I think this is an important outlook to kind of watch for. Now it's more about the matter of what will NVIDIA do. That's what I'm watching right now because NVIDIA just seems to be like running the market. So I kind of use it as an indicator right here. You can see that it could come back up to 487, hold the 5-minute supports, or break down through 480. So that's what I'm looking to see what happens here.
Yo.
KRE going lower.
Yeah. Alexa saying, hey, Ryan, look at ZS again. What you suggested worked nicely. This thing. So we were at the top end of the range here saying, hey, this might actually come back in. And it did. Came back. I actually think this might bounce here now. Now we've come into this end. Volume here is really low on ZS, though. Maybe this bounces right here now. We'll see. That's actually really funny that worked like that. You guys talking about HSDT, WIS. This was an amazing buy. Taking some HSDT. I took a look at that after I saw your comment, WIS. Look at this thing. Is this halted? Yeah, this is halted at 11.16. Big move off the bottom here. $2 move off the bottom. Great spot here. Looks like AI Rod is in this. By the way, I love this, Mitch. I love that you're not. He's not Al Rod anymore. It's AI Rod. I'm so doing that.
Yeah, everybody's name that if you're named Al, you are no longer named Al. You are now AI. You are now AI. I would actually have people refer to me. It's not Al, man. It's AI. Come on. I am AI. Mitch, are you actually setting actual stop loss orders? Is that just the indicator trigger on your chart? That's actually orders that you guys are seeing there. So if you guys see the orders just sitting there, and I'll show you guys the difference. The difference is how you see it here in the type. The type is going to tell you that how I put this order in. That's telling you also that I have it right on the screen. And you can do click trading on mouse trading, and I think that this is important. It helps you, right? Because let's say for people that are newer, right? One thing that a lot of people have a tendency of struggling is entering in the order entry form and doing that with speed. So if you have this on your charts and you can just grab the stop loss, and look how quickly I can change the stop loss. I can drag it at 3105s. I can move it at 3102s. I can move it at 3110. That's a lot faster than a lot of people are going to be able to enter that into the entry form. So this is why I think this is an advantage here, and something that I want to be using, right? I want to be using that advantage of being able to enter it right off the screen. And I think that especially as a newer trader, I'm looking to do what? Limit risk. Part of that is understanding exactly where I'm going to get out. And this tells me if this hits, I'm losing $22. How am I down? How much am I down right now? $6. All this is very important. I'm looking to gain advantage and use the tools that I have in my favor. This is one of the tools that I do like trade the pool. And that's what it's about, guys. Finding out what works best for you. Can you do that stop loss thing on the charts in Pro? No, I do not think you would be able to do that in Pro, because why? It's not your brokerage. So we can connect to brokers, but that's going to be more to like kind of watch your positions, right? Your watch list. Ryan knows more about the connections to brokers.
I was going to say, when execution in Pro, you'll start getting some of those bells and whistles when the execution in Pro has been solved and deployed. Right now, that's not even something that we're barking up. That's not even a tree we're barking up, or whatever analogy you want to use. We're going to let brokers stick to the execution. We're going to keep giving you tools and information. How you blend them together is going to be totally up to the trader.
All right, getting a little bit of a turn here and could get stopped out in TFC. So the key here is always understanding the risk to return. So we're going to actually just have it here at 3105s. And if we do get out, we do get out, guys. We'll see what happens there. That's a turnaround there. And for the KRE, I just want to hold kind of break even or slightly above break even. Don't want to lose too much on that position. I'm already in the green. Could take this green and just get out of here. But I do think that things could still reverse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it. I have an opening price of 45.23s. I'm going to put 45.27 as my out here to give myself a little bit of some sense here to give it a work. But it's all about the SPY here, I think. SPY is trying to come back through 450. If it does come back through 450s, you could see the market just rise here and the Qs just rise. If we do reject 377 here, it could come right back down. So now you know. This is kind of the outlook both ways. Let's see what happens. Blackstone showing up on my scanner. Of course, Blackstone just was added to the S&P 500. This could go from red to green on the day. And I love how it's been building there at 108. This shows me institutional action. This right here shows me institutional action. What do I mean by institutional action? A lot of wicks at the bottom, showing me that maybe the algos are buying the 108 cut downs through the 107.90s and 107.70s. Let's see if this can lift off of 108 and really drive higher. I'm not going to react on it early. I'm just going to look to see if it starts moving, because it seems to me like there's some algos trying to refill there. Of course, this is just a guess based on the price action. Blackstone. Rockstone.
Verb might be kind of curling up, going towards its highs again. HSDT still halted.
Verb pulling back there from the $2 spot. I don't know, man. That $2, I feel like my hold there. That's the hard part there with Verb. It's just such a pop and drop.
I'm not trading Verb. I already made the choice. I'm not trading it.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, the only way I traded from here, I would be short, but that's just me. And even then, if I do trade that short, what am I doing? I'm probably getting like 100 shares and risking like 20 bucks.
I mean.
All right, we just tried to break down the KRE again. And
LQR? Oh, sorry.
SPY looked like it wants to come up here. So I just got to hold break even on the rest, guys. We'll see what happens.
Real quick, LQR here. This pushing to the top end of the Bollinger Band. This, Becca, I believe this was a call from you earlier today, or maybe even before. I feel like this was a Beck's call here. Let's see if the LQR can break out a 140. High that I have is 165. Really is going to need volume to do that, but this doing a good job of holding up here. on LQR. CLRB after that last knife, really no strength. We'll see if that gets going again. I don't trust it though. Be very, very careful. GDC had no strength today after that pre-market strength. As soon as the market opened, this thing's been really kind of pathetic. FLGC, I saw a number of you folks mentioning this earlier. This pretty much round tripped already. I'm not even going to check, Mullen.
All right, can just kind of keep the watch on the Qs here to see if they go up and hold above the 377. You just got to push through the 377. Just want to put that on the alert. Qs through 377.
Tuna and it looks like I upset a lot of people here. I'm sorry. Becca, yes, LQR. That's why I was associating it with you. You were on this last week. LQR with SS trades and smoke tuna here. Getting LQR here today. Good stuff, folks.
LQR, man. Here you go. You guys gonna catch things we don't sometimes. That's what it's about.
SS trades up $1,800 today, giving us the credit. Awesome, SS trades.
Tesla continuing to go here. So if the Qs continue, the names that are strong should continue strong. I saw Netflix strong today. I saw, of course, Tesla. Now I'm seeing Meta get strong. ASML. Costco strong, man. Netflix up 9%. That was
Apple
one that
making a move back to red green.
That was one that lagged. That was a really good, interesting move there on Netflix. There you go. Triggered out a TFC and probably going to get triggered out a KRE. So I'm going to be break even on the rest here for the KRE. If it stops me out, it stops me out. But hey, that's just life, guys. And one thing that I can do is just take the profits and then kind of come back and take some of that TFC risk off. But I just got to continue to watch because the KREs are still weak. So that could still come down here. We'll see what happens.
How about you take some of that TLC, Mitch? Am I right? Just kidding. Smoke Tuna says, Ryan, we are not upset. Euro was awesome. I know. I'm making myself the target because it's always easier to do that.
I'm no scrub, bro. What are you calling me?
Is that a okay? Yeah, that is.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, the no scrubs. Yeah, I got it. That's I haven't heard that song in a hot minute, and that's okay.
Can't get no love.
No, I didn't need for you to sing it. No, Mitch.
You know it. You know it, Ryan. You got me started,
of course
bro.
I know it, but I don't need you to sing it. By the way, Verb, for those of you that are still trading Verb looks like this is trying to make a move towards the highs now. Again, I'm going to stay away from this. This is just, I feel like this stock is just going to get me in trouble if I trade it.
Guys, you guys verbing?
I don't need any part of that, honestly. I don't need any part of the Verb nonsense.
All right, guys. KRE still looking good here, guys. It could cut through the 45 and go lower here. So I'm actually up a decent amount. If the SPY just goes down fast here, guys, I'm gonna add to the KRE and look for my KRE home run today. So we'll see what happens. Still up a decent amount. Still up like a nice little cushion of $30, even though I had a loss in TFC. And so I'm going to try to use that cushion here to get bigger on the KRE. You know it, Chris.
Mullen on the move. Lol. That's the perfect comment. I mean, I'm not trading Mullen.
Can the car move?
Mullen.
Can the car move? Is there a car?
I mean, look. I know.
Is there a car?
I know I'm being mean or whatever, but this has given a trade setup. I mean, this peak to trough is 4 cents. Like I don't want to trade that. I want something else. By the way, oil coming back in now.
Yeah, oil coming back in, and the SQQQ starting to come up.
HSDT, we're getting shouted. HSDT, tuna and Wists all over this. This still, oh my God, what a buy this was, Wists. Great trade here today. HSDT. Oh, what a move off that bottom.
I have a feeling
going for 13, says Tuna. You guys are just, our community. Damn, we're good.
SQQQ starting to come back up. We'll see if it reverses off of the hourly levels of 1777 and then starts coming back through 18. One outlook to kind of keep an eye out on that is the Qs coming back below VWAP. SPY is back below VWAP. They hit 450s, went right back down to 449. So this is my chance to go on KRE and add here and then hold break even. I'm going to take my shot, guys. I think it's just at the point where I can get the move. So time to either take it or not.
HSDT
All right, guys, just did.
Took that 13 that Smoke Tuna was talking about and immediately yanked back $1. HSDT. Be careful with this one. That came all the way back to the VWAP. See, this to me, like this, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you should trade this in the prop account. And then I have the other little Ryan that's on the other shoulder is like, you're going to blow your account up. Don't do it. And then the other one's like, no, F it, do it. And it's like, come on. Here we go. HSDT coming back.
I think one of the things with that, Ryan, is maybe finding a share size that you can play with it, right?
Here,
so
you know what,
if
Mitch?
you wanted to go with it, just find a share size that, you know, you're not going to get wrecked regardless of what happens in the position.
Mitch, you're such a big brain guy that's exactly what we're going to do here. HSDT, it's back in at VWAP, taking 50 shares right here.
There you go. And then you can at least say you played it, right? And learn from
immediately down $20.
Learning from it, right?
Let's see if it bounces. Is this going to get halted? Oh man, did I just get halted with my 50 shares?
I mean, it's 50 shares, dude. You'll be all right. I think that the key here is always understanding how to come about it. One thing that I would say though is
it's going to get halted. Yeah,
I did see you go in with the 50 shares just right off the bat. One thing that I've been trying to do a little bit more of is size into these positions because I feel like it helps me. But then again, to each his own, right? If you guys don't like sizing in, you never have to do it.
I mean, look, here's the reality, Mitch. If this, I mean, 50 shares, like you were just saying, you were kind of joking about it. 50, I'm gonna be able to close this. If I take a small loss, I take a small loss. If I take a small gain, I'm gonna take a small gain.
Got to always learn, guys. Just learn.
What's screwing me here is the halt. Okay, what's screwing me here is the halt. We came back into VWAP. We looked like we're going to try to bounce off there. Immediate downside halt. Dave thinks I'm crazy. You're crazy going long HSD.
We're all crazy.
Totally fine. Totally.
Guess what? We're all crazy.
And man, you are probably right. I'm not even going to dispute that. But let's see what happens when the sun halts here.
I'll say one thing. The majority is crazy, not the minority. We're all.
And I did
crazy,
take 50
guys.
shares, right? It's not like I took 500. Yeah, no, I took 50 shares. I didn't screw it up.
All right, KRE going lower here, and I was looking for the SPY to go lower here, so it's rejecting the 450s. If it gets back above 450, that's where I say you could get that tech run, and the Qs would probably be holding that 377. So you see how it's pulling back the 377 here. Do we make the move back to 377.80s or just back down? If we come right back down, I think the SPY breaks down towards the lows, and that could drag the market. I'm still seeing a lot of sectors in the red from the open, and I think that that's the important thing here. Energy is the only thing in the green from the open. Technology is working its way back down about 0.1. But if energy goes red and tech goes red, there'll be nothing to hold us up. That's why I'm leaning more to the short side today.
Also wondering about that oil bounce, right? So like the short, I know oil popped, but those short oil plays coming back here.
All right, I want some SQQQs here as I start seeing this go down here. I'm going to take a little bit there and look for pullbacks to add here. So I just took a little bit, 50 shares, just to get myself in here. So if it pops to 95s or 98s to 18, I want to have some access to it already. So now I can layer in orders to add towards 1785 and 1780s on the pullbacks and look for this to start going here. Let's see if I can get my pullback fills and then just hold off the low of the day, which right now is 1776. Boom, boom. Let's see what we get. SPY coming down here. I'm going to look for the Qs to come down fast. And I'm looking for a little bit of a swing type of trade here. KRE, nice move down to 44.90s here. We got to go ahead and take some profits in a second here if we could break the 44.90 spot and go lower. But at this point, guess what? Break even, stop out. No matter what, I added to this position, gave myself a chance for the home run. Let's see. We've hit ourselves a double already. Let's see if I can go ahead and knock it out the park today.
Mitch, I know you want a home run. I know you want a home run.
You know me. I've been working on my game.
CLRB curling back up towards that VWAP and might move higher here. I'm don't trust it.
For those that
Webcoin, the HSDT, it would be a very, very short-term trade. Not going to rely on the fundamentals for that.
Little off-topic talk. You guys know that I'm all about the baseball game. If you guys have anybody learning baseball, want to learn a little bit more, and want to start hitting bombs like my man Kerry Carpenter from the Detroit Tigers. There's a reason why he hits bombs. It's all about the teacher man perspective. Look at Judge. Look at Bo Bichette do the same thing. I know the good stuff, guys. Like always, you got to do your research. Learn, baby, learn, whether it be stocks, sports, whether it be whatever we do, we get that learning mentality. Look at the SPY come down here. That's what I'm looking to see if it actually breaks here. So the SPY going through, let's say, towards 449. If it does that move, that's where I think it really flushes here. Let's see what happens. Do we start getting this downside action move here? And then I need to see the Qs reject that 377. It is trying to get through that 377 on the upside here, but now the SPY is dragging it. Let's see if the SPY drags this down and it rejects the 377 move higher here on the Qs. So you see the 377s right here. So move back above this dark blue line. Yeah, we'd be looking bullish. Rejection of that, we could come right back down to the bottom range here on the Qs. That's why I'm going after the SQQQs here off the bottom of the range and looking for it to go to the upside.
Smoke Tuna saying CLRB could go to 275. We'll see on CLRB. Looks like it's already kind of rolling back over to the VWAP. To me, I'm out of that one though. HSDT is open. It's trying. Could go either way. Going lower here now. As far as the loss goes, oh, here we go. Coming back up. Let's see. Let's go higher. Let's go higher. Let's go HSDT. Let's regain 12. That's what we really need to see here.
My boy is trying to take a little bit of a shot.
No. I mean, we took 50 shares. It was a stupid place to buy, as we kind of figured out. Now, if we pop back up here, I'm certainly not going to add to this. I'm not going to make this any worse. We're not going to gamble anymore. We can get above 12 here. Maybe we can close this, kind of scrape some gains back together. Let's see on HSDT.
All right, I like that outlook.
Get above 12.
The SPY is looking like it's either going to break down here or recover. And so this is the spot where I could add on the SQQQs and then just hold to my risk.
See, here's the other thing. So I know I set up this close button here. What I don't like about an HSDT coming back in, what I don't like here is that when it's so spread like it is right now, like I'm just going to get some really, really crappy fill here. What was the open price? I had it at 1171. This looks like this is probably going lower here. Definitely not going to add. Sometimes when these like actually drift lower, I might add, try to sell back into the bounce pop, not on something like this. No. All
right, guys. No. I added 100 shares on the SQQQs. Added 100 shares on the SQ. So I have 100 shares from 1789. Going to look for the Qs to reject going into 377 on this 5-minute here. And that should be the breakdown here. So the 5-minute here, about to close in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Don't want to see this close back above 377. That's going to be my indicator that I'm doing pretty well here. And then another thing is seeing that KRE, of course, go deeper into the green here. We'll see how that works. 377, it should kind of hold this level here. I'm going to make it thick so that we can see it. Let's see what happens. You see that rejection there? That's what I was looking for. Now I'm looking for the SQQQs to go fast to the upside. Let's see if that happens. 1790 is already picking up here. I could add to this, but I already have a nice position in the green. Want to stick to that KRE breakdown through the 4490s. Going to take half off there and look to ride a little bit more here.
HSDT.
What's the low of the day? Low of the day is 82. So that's the target that we can come after here. I'm going to go after 4485s here on the first target and then look for a little bit more as that keeps going lower. Boom. Let's go, guys. See what we can get. Q's trying to recover that 377. Be careful.
So a couple of things to talk about real quick. Dave was absolutely right. The buy point that I bought at was bad. So Dave's right about that. But also trading the stock, also bad. This thing is just really kind of all over the place. Going to have to book this loss before this really. I mean, this thing was in like the 1070, immediately bounced back to 1150. Now it's back down at 11. It's so spread. It's wild. It's wild. This is why, Mitch, the suggestion of taking less shares. And here we go. Maybe we're going to actually turn green here.
And what I like about it, what you did there is this is going to be a learning stock, man. Just learn from it. Try to see what you can learn from going after a stock like this. And if 50 shares could work for you to stay in the name, because you see the volatility. The volatility is definitely there. So I think it's important just to kind of stick to that.
And remember, before this last halt, this position actually went green. No, we were hoping for some more gains, right? We were trying to not just sell it for a $10 gain or whatever. We didn't end up getting that, but it did go green. It looks like it might be kind of rejected at the VWAP here now. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like VWAP rejection to me.
Qs are battling here. They're trying to get back above 377, and that's where it could definitely go higher. So got to be careful with my SQQQ position. So set the stop loss for that as it starts to pull back here. I'm going to do 78s. So that's only about like a $10 risk here. But if it goes to the upside, I could see like $30 or $40 on the upside. So let's see what happens here. If it just comes quickly down, I want to make sure that I'm going to get out of this position. So now you guys see that stop, 11 ticks down. I'm cool with risking 11 cents here.
I like Richard Judge, HSDT, holy smokes, don't trade. I like that, Judge. I like that, Judge. Take care of yourself. We'll see you later.
Let's see if it comes back to the 450s. And what time are we at? We're at 10:40, guys. Where are the likes at in the game? Let's go ahead. Let's check out the like party. And, of course, you guys see what us using Trade the Pool. You guys check out Trade the Pool for yourself. I want to see if we can keep going here, hit the like goals on the day. We only got 114, guys. We need 200 likes to keep going, guys. If not, we're going to be coming down in the next 5 minutes. You guys got 5 minutes. Get it up there, guys. Smash it up. Got over 300 of you guys in here, close to 400 earlier. So smash it up, guys. All right, let's see what I get into here. Let's see if we are able to get a nice win here, home run. That's the SPY rejecting the VWAP right now and coming right back down. One of the things that I would say on the SPY is look at the 15-minute chart. This is another reason why I'm leaning more to the bear side, but of course this could always flip. 15-minute has a lot of wicks here in the 4450s, 4950s area, but it essentially isn't a rejection of this kind of 450 spot. So that's another reason to look for that upside outlook, right? Back through 450s. Yeah, this could go back to the upside. Underneath this could just be rejecting off of these levels. So let's see if it takes out the 449.10 on the downside. Go KRE. Crush through that 4490s. JPM going down. That's another outlook that I was looking for. Remember, I talked about that right out the gates. Could that be a bull trap on JPM? Look at that go lower. Boom. That's why I'm betting on this banking situation. Look at Bank of America going lower. We'll see what happens, guys.
I got stopped out, by the way, of HSDT. I was trying to set up an order like you were doing earlier, Mitch, where you drag the two lines. So I set the higher end to be, in like 1260 and then the bottom end, and it came back in and stopped me out. So another thing to learn here, when these stocks are super, super volatile and back and forth, sometimes stop losses, you're just going to get them hunted. And that's exactly what happened. But we took it in small size, ended up not working. We're down still, but really not a whole lot on the account overall. HSDT moving back higher now. So it looks like this might be going. That's stop hunted. That would be a real bummer if we got stop hunted on that. HSDT moving higher here.
Watching the Qs. The Qs are battling that 377. It could just start pushing up from here. So just be careful. It's a battle that's 377 right now for the bulls. And that's in the tech names, right? That could keep the tech names strong. You see how it's back here to 3720s and then it's just holding here at 377s. It's the battle of 377 right now. What's going to happen? Let's find out. Look at NVIDIA. Look at the wicks here on the 5 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute. Look at this. 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks, right? Like it's definitely showing some resistance there. Can it get through that 480, 484.50, or will it come right back down? That's what I'm looking at a lot here. Then the Qs reject 377, and then they start like kind of slowing up a little bit, slowing up. We'll see what happens here. It's the battle. SPY. Let's see if that SPY rejects there. That KRE is showing me a little weakness here. There we go. That looks like it wants to break now, finally going towards the 44.80s. Let's see if we can get this move now. I'm actually going to take off my stop order there to look for the breakdown here. There you go. I pulled it off there. Now let's see if we can get this breakdown through the 44.80s. See the SPY reject, come down here towards the 449s would be the good outlook for me.
Real quick, Mitchell, you're talking about KRE here. We have CGC absolutely going ham. And I know all you penny players out here, you love these penny stocks. This was your play of the day here. CGC peak to trough. This thing was 54 cents, just pushing 70. And you're right, Wis, these last two sticks here, really impressive volume candles. The second and third biggest volume candles of the day came in this move that took it to new highs here. So I'm not in CGC. I'm not going to play this. Cannabis moves strong across the gate. CGC, been that penny stock, has really given you some movement here today. Congrats to all you CGC players.
Biden, remember, Biden 5 days ago mentioned that he urged the DEA to reclassify marijuana in efforts to ease longstanding restrictions. Where could you guys learn a little bit more about this? Of course, at our Cannabis Capital Conference. You guys don't want to miss Benzinga's Cannabis Capital Conference, of course. Going down where? Where's it going down?
Chicago
down,
in September.
Of course, in September. And you guys don't want to miss that. The Benzinga Cannabis Conference. You guys could be going at it in Chicago. I want to tell you guys a little bit more about that. I'll even give you guys the link to check it out. This is where the deals get done, so you don't want to miss that. Here's the link to check out, of course, the event. You guys go ahead and take a look at it. Going to be interesting here. Can we break down? And we'll see DC come back up. SPY came back up above VWAP, so that tells me what? Maybe take some profits here in the KRE. But I'm going to let it try to get back above 45s. If it does get back above 45.05, I'm going to take some off here. I'm looking for the breakdown and just looking for this trend line to hold. So a lot of times, sometimes I just get to a trend line outlook. And so you see right here, don't want to let this get back above this trend line. So it's okay to touch it, not okay to get above it and close. So you guys can see right here, I'll show you guys it on the KRE. Look at this outlook. So now I'm looking for this to break down through that, not let it get above that trend line. If it does, I'll take the gains. But if it breaks down here and goes to 44.85s, it's probably going to keep going down a little bit and get that expansion move. That's what I'm looking for. If not, I can just take the profits here in the 90s. SPY and the Qs are going stronger. That's probably going to stop me out in the SQQQs if it keeps going on that outlook. But I already have the stop there, so I don't have to worry about that position. Focus on the one that's in the green. Cut losers small. Try to expand that winner. That's what I'm trying to do right here. Q's making a down move here to 377. Let's see if it just washes. That's why I'm staying in the KRE.
Market, like the general market, just kind of looking at it, just really not a whole lot of anything today. Just kind of a lot of malaise, it seems. It's just...
All right. Now, one thing I do want to alert you guys on Trade the Pool. I always try to bring new features for you guys to learn, right? So here on the chart, so you guys see on the right-hand side, if you zoomed in there, there's a little bell by the price target. So if you put your mouse over the price, you should see a line show there on the chart. What is that line? That's an alert line. You can set alerts here on Trade the Pool. So like if I wanted to do alert the stock to alert me above 45.10s, I could set it there and hit the little bell, create an alert, boom. And then I can move it around if I wanted to. But at this point, I could be like, okay, anything above 45.05s, let me know when the stock gets above that. All right, I am getting a little bounce there in the SPY. SPY's coming up here. I want to see if the Qs could come down, but if they start pushing, I definitely want to get out of the KRE because it's just going to drive the stocks back here. What do I got on this? 1 minute left. 1 minute left, guys. No matter what, not letting this get back through my entry price. which is 45.15s. Of course, I expanded my risk. I was originally in at 45.25s, but I added right here. I think that's always important. Now I don't want to get past that add. I want to keep watching this for it to keep going lower. So I'm putting in also the orders. If you click on those little down arrows and up arrows, it's actually going to tell you exactly what the order was. And you guys can see that on the screen right now.
I do like the order entry tools that Trade the Pool has. I know I screwed up one of them, but that was just because I basically had something duplicated. Otherwise, they actually make a lot of sense and they're in the right spot.
Yeah. All right. With the SPY hitting up here towards 450s, it gives room for NVIDIA to run here and the Qs to run here. So you see the 377.85 push right now. With that being mentioned, I got to go ahead and just set a target profit just in case. Actually, I'm going to do the stop loss here towards 45.10s and make sure that I take the gain here. So no matter what, I'll take a $10 gain. If it comes down here and just smashes down, I want to get out of this position here. So let's see what happens. Removing that alert because I don't need to be alerted to it because I'm watching it here. SQQQ stopped me out. So that tells me another thing that, hey, you could get those Qs to drive higher and those tech names to drive higher. So I'd keep in those strong ones that were strong today. Tesla looks interesting. Now it's pulled back, looking for another rip up. Netflix looking for another rip up. We'll see if those can stay in the green. Netflix is really good and had a nice rip from the VWAP.
Real quick, Alexa saying, Ryan, when I see these little features in Trade the Pool, I realize how much toss is not in favor of the retail trader. What do you think? Well, I really like toss, so it's hard for me. I will say though, is that some of the features, some of like the little things that Thinkorswim allows, it's hard to find. Like for example, on the price ladder, like I can't change the size lots, right? Like I can't, it's 100, 300, 500, 1,000, and 2,000. I can't change them to something like 10,000 or put in like a 700 or 600 share lot in there. So some of those little features, they really don't allow you to change, but some of them they do, and they're kind of just hidden. It takes a little bit. It's one of those things where like once you set it up, it's okay, but setting it up can kind of be painful. Trade the Pool does make it a little bit easier, which I really appreciate. Sorry, Mitch.
Seeing Gush starting to make a little bit of a down move. Remember, I talked about 4160s earlier. It already hits 4160s. So let's see if this starts to come back and energy starts going back into the green here. So that's one outlook that I'm looking at right now that I could be watching for a different style trade other than KRE. We'll see what happens there. But one thing I'm noticing is not getting the likes, guys. We need the likes to keep going. It actually keeps us live. It helps us keep going. And like always, guys, we don't charge a single cent for this stream. And there's a reason why, right? We find ways to monetize the stream. Other than that, you guys see us with partnering with Trade the Pool. Now, how you guys can support the stream to keep us going, of course, is hitting that subscribe button and hitting those likes. That's what lets everybody know that you guys want us to keep going. I like this Gush trade here off the 4160s, but it might not come back to 4160s.
Is that bear oil Gush? No, it's bull oil.
That's bull oil.
Bull oil, yeah.
Yep. And why? Because of that run to 86 today.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like oil has run. So at this point, I think I'm in more favor of the short instruments, but they haven't worked yet. So take that with a grain of salt.
I try to stick to prices and on my outlook, right? So it was last week, can we get above 82s and work our way to 85? Now we're there. Now I want to see it start holding 85 on pullbacks and taking out 90 on the upside. If it takes out 90 and we're at $90 a barrel, ooh, the Fed's going to have something to worry about.
I mean, I don't know. I think $100 a barrel is probably likely at some point in the future.
If that happens, I'll tell you right now, inflation goes higher. Oil names go higher.
Yes, I agree.
So things like that are a worry for the Fed. We'll see what happens. KRE still hanging in there. You notice how I'm not putting it on my screen right now? Why? Stop is placed. I don't need to look anymore. Remember how I tell you sometimes, Ryan, what do I want to get into?
You want to let the stock work for you.
100%, my friend. And that's what I'm trying to do now, right? I've done the hard work. We talk about this all the time, right? And I think that this is what's really important for this stream is learning process. If we do the hard work of getting good entries, and I even did the hard work of getting a good ad, at this point, it's what? Let the market do the work. It's either going to stop you out or make you money. Those are the two options. Don't stress about that. Just react off of that. That's what we do as traders. That's what we're here for. Gush down to 63s and 61s. So guess what, guys? I'm willing to take a shot on the gush. It's going to be a small kind of trade here. I'll probably start with 50 shares and work my way to 100 shares towards 41.50s and then hold towards 41.40s. So it gives me a nice little profit to loss ratio outlook, though, because the upside move is a whole dollar move. So if I could risk here 20 cents to make $1, what is that? That's perfect to me, right? That's nice, like 5-to-1 outlook. These are the type of trades that I like to look for. Wally, you're having some issues? No worries. I can help you out with that. I'll give you an email to contact out to. Wally, just give me a second.
And I gave Wally the phone number. He was saying he couldn't find the phone number. I found it on the website. I put it in the chat here.
Yeah, that's what we're here for too, man. We'll help you out.
Did I mention it was football week, Mitch?
Oh, yeah, baby. Football,
I'm so excited.
Football.
I am so excited.
Man. Starts up on Thursday. Tech stocks staying strong here. Still not seeing the Qs come back down. So that's an interesting outlook. SPY's starting to climb slowly but surely. And what's going into the green? Just technology. Just only technology getting into the green here. So do want to state that, right? Energy slightly in the red. What's getting dragged is basic materials. What's getting hit there? Just about everything. The only thing I see up in basic materials is coal and agricultural inputs. But everything else, steel taking a big hit. The hardest hit stock today, interesting area to see get hit, is lumber and wood production. Are you kidding me, guys? Lumber and wood production? I thought that would be going up. That's interesting outlook there. But seeing the gush trying to make this move back up, I kind of like it here. Got to go for it now if I want to get after it. The SPY's it's starting to climb back. See if we can make a double bottom here. Triple bottom on the 5-minute at 41.60s. Microsoft now starting to get into the green. This is the stock that I wanted to see get into the green and hold if tech names want to kind of drive back. And the big thing is this led the move down, could lead the move back out. So I drew this earlier about this V shape here and how move could be moving towards 33.20s. So we just got back above the 31s, held the 330 pullback today. Go to the 15 minutes. You can see this kind of 329 breakout through the 330s. Now it held the 340 pullback up there to 331.60s. It actually looks pretty bullish on the day. We'll look to see if this can continue to climb. But when Microsoft does this, I can see it just lifting all tides. So big boy stocks, Tesla, those names are driving the market higher. They can continue driving the market higher, especially if you start getting leadership to join in. So Google is a chart that I'd kind of look out for. Amazon doesn't look like a bad daily, right? That's been on a pullback, but if it gets back to green, could see some buying step up there. Be careful out there, team, especially if you're short. Netflix, how's that doing? Now it's starting to pull back. Doesn't look too bad there. Intel, can that stay strong? We'll see what happens there. KRE now starting to make its way back. It's holding that trend line on the upside of it. So you got to be careful. Of course, it could come back, but I already have the stop loss to take the profits. We'll see what happens. Looking for the bigger win, but it has to happen, right? And if it does come back, I'm not going to fight it. All right, let me catch the likes. Oh, didn't get there to the likes today, guys. Guys, we need to keep up with the likes. I know you guys are watching, enjoying the trading action, but I'm telling you guys, if we can't hit our like goals daily, I might have to just start holding back the show. And then the biggest thing is that's what we do this for, guys. We need you guys to show us the feedback and hit those likes. That's what it's all about here. Really? I mean, at the end of the day, we don't charge a single cent, and that shows us how much you guys appreciate our stream. Home builders getting hammered. Yeah, I do see that action out there.
Going to be out here for the day. Going to get back to the actual job at hand, but it is football week. We're going to be back this week. I'm really excited. You know I'm excited. I can't wait.
That's what it's all about, guys. And definitely, like we mentioned it multiple times here, like always, check it out, guys. Check out Trade the Pool. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Like always, hit the like. We'll see you guys a little bit later today. Up next, you guys got Benzinga Live. Hit the like button. Let's get you guys over there. See you next time. Getting Ryan out of here. And, of course, bring you guys over right now to Benzinga Live. All right. Hit the like, guys. We're out of here.